Hi, my name is Nikki Kashtan. This is the Conflict Hotline. What you say next can change the world. With me in the audience are Sigal and Mark. Together we will be doing some role plays and of situations from people who call in. If you'd like to call and have your situation played on the television, you can use the number 510-433-0700. You can call with situations such as this scenario between a mom and her 14-year-old son, whom she just picked up from school.
Hi, honey. How was school?
What?
Whoa, did something happen at basketball practice?
No.
Okay.
Hey,
You're allowed to be in a bad mood, but you're not allowed to be hostile to me, okay?
you're hostile. When you're in a bad mood, you get to be hostile.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Curtis. The purpose of this program is to support you in being able to work out situations such as this. Have you ever had an experience of something like this where you didn't know what to do? This is what we're here to help you with. This is an all-volunteer effort, and everyone in the cast and most of the crew is affiliated with Bay Area Nonviolent Communication, an organization with a vision of creating a world where everyone's needs matter and people have the skills for making peace. Again, if you'd like to participate, call us, call the Conflict Hotline at 510-433-0700. And you can call with all kinds of situations, such as...
You might have an issue with a neighbor or a housemate.
Or a parent-child situation where you're not able to communicate with each other.
Or anything that happens at your workplace. You know, most of us spend most of our time in the workplace. So all of these situations you can call us and we can help you work out how you can deal with it both internally and externally. So let's go back to the situation and see what could happen differently with a different kind of skill and approach. Are you ready to try and do something different?
Sure.
What you say next can change your relationship with Curtis.
Yeah.
So let's
Let's
start.
hope.
Yeah.
Hi, honey. How was your day at school?
Leave me alone.
Wow. Did something happen at basketball practice?
No. I'm in a bad mood.
Okay. Well, I'm sad that you're in a bad mood. And yeah, it's hard for me when you're in a bad mood because I love you so much and I just want to connect when you come home from school. And I just want to tell you that you don't have to do anything different.
Well,
Thank you. I want to pause for a second, and I saw something on your face that looked like you were surprised, Curtis.
yeah.
You're not used to her speaking like this, are you?
No, she usually keeps yelling.
Uh-huh. And what was it like for you to have her speak like that?
I don't know, it was just different.
Did you like it better?
Yeah.
What was it like for you to speak like this?
It was much better knowing that I was saying that for myself more than to try and change him. I let go of trying to change him or get anything out of him.
So you were primarily focused on creating peace inside yourself.
Yeah, and letting him in on what was going on.
Yeah, and from within that you can speak to him in a different way.
Yeah.
Keep going for another little bit, see what happens. Because you still haven't made the full connection.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, he is not coming back at you, but he hasn't really opened his heart to you, has he?
No. So you don't have to do anything different. And I'm wondering if it's just hard for you to come in the car and talk about it when you've had a bad day.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it now.
Okay. I'm confused when he says he doesn't want to talk about it.
So when somebody says they don't want to do something, there's a reason. Especially if somebody says they don't want to talk about something. Why would somebody not want to talk about something? I would imagine, and I want to check with you if that's true, that you don't want to talk about it because you're not really trusting that she will hear you the way you want it.
No, she'll just tell me how she does it.
Yeah. Is that giving you some clue?
Yeah, he doesn't want advice or something like that.
Yeah. So when he says, I don't want to talk about it, what I'm hearing is that he's not trusting you.
Yeah.
So how might you respond to him not trusting you?
You want to make sure that you have some time and space to work it out, to process it yourself.
Yeah. I want you to trust me.
You want to know that I know that you're going to be okay no matter what.
Yeah. And I'm not like you.
Wow, I am just so touched in this moment. There's something that opens up that I bet was never said before. That suddenly he's really telling you something very deep and meaningful about him. That essentially what I'm hearing is that you want to find your own way in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining that you care about him so much, you want to give him the wisdom of what you have.
I know what he needs to do. All the time. I have the best answer. He should really listen to me. That's what's going on in my head.
Yeah. And this is a classic dilemma that parents and children have, especially at this age, when the number one thing that the kid wants is to have the freedom to explore the world and figure it out for themselves. So then the question is, what do you do with all that love and care and wisdom that you have? How do you hold it inside yourself so that you don't put it on him?
Yeah.
Because it's not fun for him when you put it on him. Not only that, what are the chances that when you put it on him like this, he's actually going to want to hear it and do something like what you say?
Right. Not very high.
Yeah. But there may be a way that if you can find a way to convey to him that you trust him, and he has the relief from that intensity, he might be curious about your opinion.
Okay.
He might not.
Yeah.
And it might take months before he develops enough trust to be curious. But that's more than you have right now. Right now it's
so
just
go
a
back.
power struggle.
Tell me the first part. What do I need? The first is to trust, to create trust. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
to let him know that I trust him.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you do you?
Yeah, I do. He's a good kid. He gets through it. So, well, Curtis, it's really hard for me to see you in a bad mood because I really want to help you a lot. But I also know that maybe you don't want my help. And I want to let you know that I'm happy for you to do it on your own because I trust that you're going to make good choices for yourself.
Thanks.
Visible relief on your face. Are you feeling relief?
Yeah. It's the first time I've ever felt like she really trusts me. Yeah.
Yeah. And does that leave you with more room to hear from her? Even a tiny little bit. We've got to give her some hope for the future, you know. If it isn't, it isn't. But I'm just curious if there's even a little bit.
I feel a relief. I really
Okay.
don't want to hear too much more yet.
Great. So
I'm going to call my best friend and tell her exactly what I think he should do.
Yeah, you need support for yourself.
I do.
Because it's really challenging to see your kid do one thing after another that you predict is not going to work. And still, you cannot protect them
Yeah.
from discovering things on their own. You just, yeah, and I'm imagining that's really
horrible.
painful.
It's horrible.
Because you care so much about him. Yeah. He doesn't hear that care through how you do. He hears you as trying to control him,
Right.
don't you?
Well, I am trying to control him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that until she said, and leaned back like she really gets that I sometimes struggle a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I want to try to see, Curtis, are you up to trying to explore how you might respond to your mom in a connected way when she tries to put pressure on you. Are you up for it?
Sure, I'll try it.
So here's one piece of something to kind of like put attention on. When she's giving all this advice or tells you what to do or whatever, let's see if you can remember the care that's motivating her. And check with her if that's where she's coming from.
Ask her?
Yeah? Just check with her if that's where she's coming from.
Okay.
Are you up for it, or would you like me to be you and model it?
No, I'd like to try it.
Please.
So we're going to rewind.
Rewind to the point where you say, you know, it's okay for you to be in a bad mood, I just don't want you to be hostile.
Okay. So from the beginning or start there?
Just start there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Curtis, it's okay for you to be in a bad mood. It's just not okay for you to be hostile with me.
I'm guessing right now you're kind of worried about me.
Yeah. I want to know what's going on, and being hostile is just, it's the last thing. It's not a way to go
Okay,
about it.
let's pause for a second, because what happened is you got her for a second. Did you see that?
Yeah.
For a second, she stopped in her tracks and saw you in a different way. And then the habit caught her up again. Did
Yeah,
you
and
see
I didn't
that?
know what to do.
Yeah, but I'm curious to understand. I guess that when he said that, you suddenly were seen in a way that you never were before.
Well, it made me more aware of something that I didn't even know. It was like, my reaction was like, hey, don't be hostile. And then when he asked me about the caring, it just took me to a whole different place.
But you couldn't stay there.
No, it was such a shock.
Yeah. So you try again. Same thing. Because the first time it got her for a second, maybe the second time it would get her for longer.
Wow, so just keep going back.
Yeah,
Okay.
for as long as you can.
Okay, so yeah, I really care about you, and being hostile is not the way to have a relationship with your mom.
So you really have a lot of care for what's going on for me.
Yeah, I really do. You don't have to tell me what's been happening. I just want to know that I just want some kind of communication.
So it would help if you just knew that I was trying to work it out.
Yeah. If it didn't feel like you were just taking everything out on me.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mom. And I want to check one last thing with you, Curtis. Which one felt better inside of you for you? Responding this way or responding in the other way?
This way.
This way.
Yeah.
Surprising, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't feel angry, and I want her to know that I wasn't angry with her in the first place.
Yeah. You
I was
just wanted your own freedom.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anything else, Mom, that you'd like to add?
I love you.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking, but I feel very open and sweet.
Yeah. Anything that you'd like to add before we close this scenario?
Yeah, I feel like, there's a chance for me to be me.
Yeah. Thank you. So this is what you can do at home with your children, is find a way to really listen to what's going on, and then something opens up that is so unexpected, a deeper connection, deeper understanding, just by paying attention and inquiring into what it is that might be going on for the other person that you're speaking with. Thank you very much. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to do a different scenario. We call it Got a Minute? We'll be back in a moment.
People will say that we're crazy for wanting to show that we care. Others will fear for their children, for the innocence they wanted to share. And I don't blame you for running away. it's easier than looking at me. But I hope you can hear what we're trying to say, and that some of us wanna be free. And I think all of us just wanna be free. So I say love me somehow. We all wanna be loved somehow. I say love me somehow. We all.
Hi, we're back to the Conflict Hotline. I'm Miki Kashtan. With me are Sigal and Mark. And we're waiting for your phone calls at 510-433-0700. And meanwhile, while we're waiting for your call, we're going to have a different scenario. Amanda and Clarence share an office together.
Hey, Clarence, you got a minute? I would love to tell you about your suggestion to take my family to the
Not
marina.
right now, Amanda. I'm busy.
Oh, but I know you're really going to like this. You really want to know. I took them to the sea
Amanda,
lions.
I've got to get this done. I have 10 minutes to finish this and turn it in.
Jeez, Clarence, what happened to you? Come on, it's no big deal.
Amanda!
Thank you. I appreciate this. Has this ever happened to you, something like this? Have you been on either side of this? You really want to tell somebody something and they don't want to listen to you? Or you're really wanting to focus and somebody else is trying to say something and you don't know how to get rid of them? We all find ourselves on both sides of most conflicts. So this is one of what I consider to be one of the biggest challenges that human beings can face in Clarence's position, which is how do you say no to someone and keep the connection going? So the first thing that happens is you try to connect in your heart with what's going on for that person, which makes it easier to remain in a heart space of connection rather than a go away kind of a place. So are you up for trying, or would you like me to impersonate you?
I think you ought to impersonate me.
Okay. So remember, I'm going to try to be kind, caring, connected, and at the same time keep it to the minimum number of words. The irony is that this exchange actually took longer than Clarence wanted. Is there a way to make it quicker? And got him all upset. Now, maybe he got rid of Amanda, but he's going to be all riled up and having a hard time focusing. So let's see if we can, we'll see. Can we do better? Okay, so I'll be
He didn't get
Clarence
rid of
now.
me yet, anyway. All right. Hey, do you have a minute? I totally wanted to catch you up. Your suggestion of taking my parents to the marina was amazing. I took them to see the sea lions.
Wait, can you wait a second? I really would love to hear this story, and I want to hear it when I can give you my full attention, and that's going to be later. Are you up for waiting? Because I really want to finish this report before listening to you.
Yeah, okay, when should I come back?
I'll let you know when I'm ready, okay?
Okay, I'm just over at the cubicle.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So, you could see she wasn't super happy,
No.
but you weren't upset the way that you were when he said, not now. What made the difference? My sense is what made the difference is I conveyed to you that I was interested. Mm-hmm. You got that I was interested in your story. It was just not now.
And the other piece that really made a difference was that you told me that you wanted to hear it later.
Yeah.
Like it was very clear that there was going to be a time for me
Yeah.
to tell you what I wanted to tell you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then the other thing is what to do if you're in this situation. Mm-hmm. And he says, go away now. What can you do then?
Well, I could just go away.
Would you feel good about it?
Not really. He's my best friend in the office.
Is that a shared opinion?
No. She talks all the time.
Uh-huh.
And he's the only one that listens.
He may be the only one that is, at least some of the time, polite enough not to turn a corner. Mm-hmm. But if there is, sometimes what I see that might be happening here is that there are a bunch of people in the office that are trying to give you feedback. And they're just doing it in a way that doesn't really preserve your dignity.
If you coach me, I'd like to help her.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's coach Clarence on giving you the feedback.
Okay.
Because in order to give somebody feedback that is really useful, the first order of business is for you to be clean in your heart. That you're not trying to dump something on them or judge them or change them. You're just giving them a mirror of what it is they did and what effect it had on you. So when you say she talks too much, that's not something that she did. That's mixing in what she did with what reaction you had to it. So let's try to kind of like uncouple these two things. What she did, so she knows what happened, and what effect it had on you, and why it matters, as two separate things. So what is it that she did that you call talking too much?
Well, she'll come in when I'm working on something, and she'll see me working, and she'll start talking, and she won't, get a clue.
Okay, so one of the things is if you want to give somebody feedback, instead of talking in generalities, like she will come into my office, she won't, think about a particular incident, like what happened today or yesterday. It's much easier to make the connection because she will remember.
Okay, I was working on a report this morning, and she came in and she wanted to tell me about the weekend. And I asked her.
That's what she did.
Yes.
Okay. And she did that at a time when you were working, and she continued after you asked her to talk at another time.
Right.
Okay. That's the piece that she did. That's what you observed her doing.
Okay.
Then the effect that had on you, what effect did it have on you? Not the judgment of her, but why does this matter? What's important to you that this is not supporting you in?
Well, I wanted to talk to her, but I couldn't get my report done because then I just couldn't concentrate.
Okay, so what's important to you is to be able to focus and concentrate
Yeah.
and make connection at a time that you feel leisurely.
Yeah.
So that's the piece of what matters to you about this. And then what is it that you would like her to do differently? Do you know?
I'd like her to just notice that I'm working at my desk.
Okay, noticing is not an action. Noticing
Okay.
is an internal state. And that is one of the things that so often happens with feedback, is that we tell people what we want them to feel or how we want them to be instead of telling them what we want them to do. So what would you like her to do? Do you have a sense?
I'd like her to not come in the office when I'm working.
Okay, so now you're telling her what you don't want her to do. It's very difficult. It's not an easy task to be able to find what it is that you want somebody to do.
I want her to recognize that we're in the office to work and do our work.
Again, recognizes an internal state. So is it that, let me check with you. Would it work for you if when she comes in, she asks you if it's a good time for you before she starts speaking?
Yeah.
That would give you that recognition.
So that's what I need to ask her?
That would help. Because if she doesn't see it on her own, and I understand from her, she says nobody listens to her. So it sounds like there may be several people that experience a similar issue. And you all work together. You want to work together in a way that is collaborative, that takes into consideration where everyone is and works with the reality that you have, not with the illusion of how everybody should be.
Okay.
So if you give her that kind of information, it will help her in navigating the relationships in a way that will nurture everybody's effectiveness and connection both. Would you like
Thank you.
to try to convey that information to her?
I would.
Yeah. One last piece of coaching, I would do it not in the moment when she's in your office.
Okay.
Now, why am I telling you this? In the moment when she's in your office, you're going to be irritated.
All right.
If you're irritated, the effectiveness of your feedback decreases.
Okay.
the more irritated you are, the less she's going to be able to hear it. Isn't that true? So you want to find a moment where you are calm, so that the chances of her being able to hear it as an act of friendship increase.
Okay.
So let's imagine you are, at break room, having, a cup of tea together. That might be a moment when you want to say that to her.
Okay.
You game for trying?
Game.
And remember what she did, why it matters to you, and what you want her to do differently. Those are the 3 components of useful feedback.
So Amanda, you have a minute?
Yeah.
She's in heaven. Finally, somebody wants to talk with her.
I really wanted to let you know that this morning when I was working and you came in, I would have really appreciated if you'd checked to see if it was a good time for me to stop and talk. Because I get really confused when I lose my focus, and I really needed to get that work done this morning.
So I want to check with you. First of all, this might not be the end of the story, but just for starters, was this easier to hear than everybody telling you, not now, not now, not now?
Definitely. Although I was thinking, I asked him if he had a minute.
So that's very powerful, because sometimes I think that cross-cultural communication relates to every individual with every individual, that each one of us is our own tiny little microculture. In her culture that she lives in internally, asking if you got a minute without waiting for a response from you, it's already checking with you.
Yeah.
I really believe her. She really doesn't get something here. And the piece about giving her feedback is it's a gift to her. If she can hear this and really grasp it, her life will go better. I bet she suffers a lot, thinking that nobody likes her, nobody wants to hear from her. I don't think it's true.
Yeah.
Because she's a sweet being. She has fun stories to tell. It's just her sense of timing and her sense of consideration for other people are not there in the way that you would like them.
Yeah.
So you can help her develop that.
So Amanda, I know when you came in, you asked me if I had a minute, but I've noticed before you didn't wait for me to answer.
Yeah. So now we're getting even more specific. And just this bit, you didn't wait for me to answer. I bet that's a bit of new information for you.
Yeah.
And now you made the bridge. And on this bridge, you can start walking back and forth to understand each other.
So I know you were really excited about what happened this weekend. Do you want to tell me just a little bit about it before we go off break?
I would love that.
Great.
Thank you. I'm really enjoying the way that this can support Amanda in learning to be a friend and in getting what she wants. That's the key. The idea of the feedback is it's not just to make life easier for you, it's also to support her. It's for both of you.
Thanks.
Anything either one of you would like to add before we go on a break again?
No, thank you.
So I'd like to invite you again to call us at 510-433-0700 if you'd like your situation to be played on the air. And we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have different cast members. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Sigal.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Sunshine, baby, you're so fine. I'm gonna make it mine, all mine. Make it mine, all mine. I love it when you dress so cute, yeah. But there's just one
Hi, welcome back to the Conflict Hotline. What you say next can change the world, at least the relationship that you're in the moment. Now let's see. Here is Newt. Hi Newt, and hi Itzel. And I wanted to tell you, they're not actually a couple in real life. Maybe some of us might be sad that they're not, but they're not, because some people who viewed this program in the past, I guess you do it so well that people really thought you were a couple.
We argue well.
So they're not. And to prove it, they're going to play a completely different situation. We call it mind your own business. And they are in the supermarket, and Itzel is there with her child. And let's see what happens.
Would you just stop crying, or I'll really give you something to cry about?
Hi. I'm Don. Don. Hi. I wonder if you need some help at all.
You can help by minding your own business.
I'm guessing you're kind of frustrated.
Why are you still talking? This conversation's over.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. This happens. You talk to somebody and they respond in this kind of way. You can help by minding your own business. And I see that you were tempted to keep talking. Mm-hmm. Did you like the result of continuing to talk?
Not yet.
But you're hopeful.
I was hopeful, yeah.
Okay, let's give it one more round. See if your hope has any. Continue in that vein and see if it really gets you the result that you want.
Along the same vein I was just taking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really getting that you're kind of agitated with what's going on, and
Okay, so this is not going anywhere. Let's try to understand why. It looks like you're surprised because, you know, when we study nonviolent communication, we learn that one of the things we want to do is connect with people empathically to understand where they're coming from. But that assumes some foundation of connection. In this moment, in this context, there's no connection. There's no reason for her to understand your gesture as an attempt to connect. She's not getting it that way. How are you hearing his attempt to support you?
Well, it seems to me that he's actually not hearing me at all. I just explained to him 2 times I didn't want to talk, I didn't want his help, and I felt like he wasn't understanding that. And I thought I was pretty clear, even if it wasn't in the most skillful way.
Did it feel to you like, did you want to kind of like protect your own field of autonomy to lead your life the way that you want to? Is that what it was?
I think that was part of it. And also I was already angry, and I just didn't want to get involved with anyone else in that particular moment.
Yeah, you wanted to conserve your energy for the problem that you were already having with the child.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So it may be that there are some situations in which you cannot actually create the connection that you want with the other person.
But I've been to so many workshops, Mickey.
So you really would like to believe that it's always possible to create connection with another person.
That's what I've been leading myself to understand.
Mm-hmm. So it's very subtle, but if you keep persisting in this kind of context, you're actually making a demand for connection. Yeah. You see, you're insisting that she connect with you, whether or not it works for her. And really, the fundamental principle is that you want to really hold everybody's needs with care. And to me, it's very clear what her needs are. Now, in the moment when she says, you can help by minding your own business, it may not be clear what's going on for her, because I can imagine, just think about it. If you're trying to approach somebody because you want to help them, and they basically say, buzz off, that's not fun. That's happened to me many times. It's not fun. So you need to do something inside in order to have at least connection with yourself, because I don't have a sense that you can reach her in this moment. So can you walk us through what you might do internally so that you let her have her life and walk out of the scene with your own integrity and heart satisfied with how you acted?
You'd like me to do that?
Yeah.
Well, for starters, I'll say that I'm disappointed because I was I kind of got my courage up in the moment, you know, instantaneously to approach a stranger and to offer my skills is what I was hoping to offer, and to kind of, it was looking like a sad situation. I felt sad seeing what I was seeing, and I thought maybe I could cause something different to happen. So I was wanting to make a contribution, and I was wanting to facilitate some harmony or some different kind of connection. And I'm disappointed that it didn't go at all the way I was hoping. So yeah, that's where I'd start for me.
Yeah. So just acknowledging to yourself, being grounded in where you were coming from, just your own motivation, just remembering what's
Right.
important to you in the moment.
Right. Yeah. And there's a little bit of, oh, I should have known better. There's a little bit of that voice coming up that it was foolish to even try, and you know, I was sticking my nose into someone else's business, and you shouldn't do that. You know, there's some of those voices. So I guess I'm wanting to listen to that. I guess something about there's maybe something for me to learn from this, or something that I haven't quite got clear yet, and.
Is it that you're wanting to have like maybe more discernment
Right.
internally about being able to kind of like look at a situation and assess the likelihood?
Yeah, more discernment and more space, like to give myself at least a second to make a decision. Now I'm assessing that I didn't really give myself any space to take a breath before starting to speak.
I'm wondering, now that you're saying this, I'm wondering if you were agitated about what you saw.
Oh yeah, it's one of the things I least like to see in the world, is children being spoken to in a way that I judge as harsh or
Yeah.
aggressive.
Because I imagine, you know, if we, as we kind of like delve more deeply into this, that in some subliminal way she might have picked that up, that there was some kind of an edge, that there wasn't like a genuine flow of wanting to help her, that it was more like, I'm coming to help you because I really want to protect that child. That
Yeah.
somehow there's some sense that she's wrong. Is
Yeah.
that there?
Oh yeah, I was protecting the child against the nasty, aggressive lady
Yeah.
who happens to be the child's mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine that it might have flowed differently if you had like ease inside yourself about seeing her distress. I'm just imagining, and I'm curious actually to check with you if we can rewind to that first moment. If Dawn here had said something like, "Bad day, huh?" If that might have been easier to hear.
Oh, that's interesting. I think maybe so. I think maybe so. Because the offer to help didn't feel like it was to help me, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe.
Because that, you know, behind every parent that is being harsh to their child, there is stress and desperation and helplessness about how to manage an impossible life that parents have in this society. Because it's all on the one parent to deal with a child. The entire structure of extended family, village, neighbors, all of that we used to have is not there. So she is all alone here having to deal with this child. It's and probably has work, husband, maybe 2 other children at home. It's not an easy situation. So if I can have a real, genuine care for that, the flow of energy would be different.
Yeah.
Rings true for you?
Yeah, definitely. I was not taking everyone into account. I was taking me into account and the child into account.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're getting some relief from just even understanding the tight spot that she's in.
Oh yeah, making space for that is a different experience. Yeah.
All right. Now, I want to see, because one of the principles that we say is that just about any situation can be transformed from both sides. So I'd like to see, it would take a lot of skill.
Yes, I imagine it would.
A lot of skill when you are so stressed out.
Yeah.
She's an NDC trainer who's having a difficult moment, that's all. And I happen to have come into it.
When you're so stressed out and somebody's doing something that you don't like,
Yeah.
it's very hard to know how to respond.
Yeah.
But at the very least, you can aim towards telling the truth from inside your heart rather than covering your heart and doing this. Whatever that might look like.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
So let's rewind and start from the top.
Okay. I'll try. And I may need a little coaching.
Of
this one.
course.
Okay.
That's why I'm here.
All right. So you better quit that crying or I'll give you something to cry about.
Hi, excuse me. Don, my name's Don. I'm just wondering if you need a bit of help at all.
You know, Dawn, I'm really agitated right now, and I get the impression your offer to help is sincere, and I'm really not in a place to talk with you right now. Would you be willing to just not have this conversation with me?
That is interesting because really, I don't think you're ready for dialogue with him.
Okay.
When you say, would you be willing to, whatever, that means there's a possibility of yes or no.
Right.
If there's no possibility of no, don't ask the question.
Okay.
Then just say, thank you, can't deal.
Okay. Okay.
But what I saw that you were doing is you were really reaching for being present rather than hostile.
Yeah.
And I think that got through to you.
Yeah.
So how would you have, I mean, if she just said, you know, whatever she said, I'm agitated and I'm not in a place to talk with you, what would you have done then?
Without the question?
Without
Without
the
her saying
que-
that, am I willing? I think I would have probably been a little bit dumbfounded, perhaps for long enough for her to escape.
Which, for where you are, is good enough.
Right.
For where you are to even say I'm agitated might be so much of an effort. I mean, and if
Yeah.
you are really so upset, even to say this is coming from a place that's genuine and sincere, I just don't know that you would really have access to that. But maybe you could say something like, look, I'm really stressed. It's not a good time to try to talk with me, okay? Even that is still taking ownership of where you are. Still easier to hear than you can help by minding your own business, isn't it?
Sure, it's a different.
And
Yeah.
it has an authenticity to it. That's
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah. I wasn't at all connected to that space of care or whatever I was
Yeah.
talking about. It was slip service.
Yeah. I really want us to come to a place where we can really say the truth of what's going on for us in a way that takes full ownership of it without blaming the other person. That's what I was reaching for here.
Okay.
Thank you, Itzel.
Sure.
No, Amanda. Anything either one of you would like to add about this scenario?
I noticed that at the end, this way around, the willingness to see that a man, who are we talking about? The strange lady.
The strange lady.
Whatever the name
right,
is of
she
the
didn't have
strange
a name.
lady.
Okay.
I think Amanda was from some earlier incarnation, but
Yeah.
that she had a point of view that she hadn't experienced too. When she said to me, you know, I'm stressed, even in the version she did or the version that you did, I actually kind of went, oh yeah, she's having a tough time too. It's not
Yeah.
just about me helping the
Yeah.
kid and
Yeah.
whatever. So.
Yeah, because when you say, you know, mind your own business, the other person is not going to see that you're stressed. And whenever you're able to own your feelings, the other person is way less likely to interpret aggression.
Right.
And the last, anything else you want to add about the situation?
No, I just really appreciate just staying with what really is totally true.
Yeah. because the last tip that I want to give everybody watching this is that the same thing applies like this. If you see somebody that is acting aggressive, there's probably something going on for them that they're hiding. So if you can stay with that, if you can remember that whenever somebody is aggressive, there's probably some fear or stress or helplessness going on, then that can open your heart towards more kindness. All right, let's take a break and come back for our final scenario called Another Cookie.
And the clay pot fell and broke today, but it does not matter anyway. No, it does not matter anyway. Rupa, the form of it all. Thoughts in my mind, come in. No illusion will rise and illusion will fall. And I'll still be here at the end of it all. In the sea of love, I melt like salt. My faith and my doubt both dissolve. In the sea of love, I melt like salt. My faith and my doubt both dissolve. Gather the fruit from the tree, break it open and find the seed. Break the seed open and what do you see? Nothing.
Hi, welcome back to the Conflict Hotline. And this is Miki Kashtan with Newt and Itzel. And once again, they're going to be married for this show, not in real life. And so this is Leo and Maria, and watch what happens.
You're not having another cookie, are you?
What do you mean?
Well, you keep on complaining about, you've got to watch your weight and you're trying to stay fit for your running and blah, 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 and now you're eating, like, junk.
Well, are you supposed to be helping me right now? What are you
Well,
saying?
you complain to me about it and expect me to listen to you about it and everything. And you've touched that one now, too,
Thank you.
I'm the dream husband.
Of course. Many might think that, not Maria in this moment.
Right.
Do you know why she's not happy?
I don't know, something about her figure and her weight and...
No, why she's not happy with you in this moment.
Oh. I don't know, because she's wanting to make up her own mind about what she eats and when.
Yeah. Fancy that. Have you ever met a person who doesn't want to have their own ideas about what they eat, when and why?
Sure.
So what's important then is clearly you care about her and you want to help her.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's something else.
Well, I just, I'm a little bit worn out by this inconsistency. Like on the one hand, it's like, oh, I need to go to the gym more
Got
often,
it.
and then on the other hand, it's cookies, and then it's back to, oh, I think, how do I look in these? And then back to, like Cheetos. It's a product placement there. So,
So you're wanting to create some change in the situation.
Yes.
So here's the deal. You have much more of a chance of creating change anywhere if you are working with another person as opposed to against their autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to reach her, wherever she is.
Right. Okay.
Or come from inside yourself and talk about what's going on for you. Which would you like to do as you see her reach for the cookie, which she'll do in a second again?
I kind of think in this case I'm tempted to just say what's coming up for me.
Okay,
For real.
so then your task is to be really clear that it's about you and not about her
Okay.
by talking about what your needs are.
Okay.
All right, let's rewind.
Maria,
Yes.
I got something to say that's just coming up for me in this moment.
Oh, okay.
I'm noticing this irritation suddenly came up for me right when I saw you reaching for another cookie. And I'm pretty clear what it's about is my own sense of impatience and really would love to have some kind of clarity and consistency about your concerns with diet and health and fitness and stuff like that. And also clarity about how I can talk to you about that and support you about that. And I really want to know how you feel hearing me say this.
It's just a cookie.
Okay, so I don't. She didn't answer your question,
No.
obviously. My sense is that you were giving her about 4 different units of information in this one expression, and that she got all flooded and basically couldn't hear you anymore. Is that true?
Yeah, well, I just didn't, it wasn't so much that I was flooded, it just seemed like there was so much coming at me, and
Yeah.
I just had a cookie, and he's worried
Yeah.
about, even with my weight, it's just one cookie.
Yeah. So I would say, especially if you have a difficult message to convey, break it up into small pieces and connect with her about each piece separately.
Okay.
So you did that right away. You said, there's something coming up for me, and I want to talk to you about it. Are you game? She was totally with you then, completely. And by the way, did you notice she was waiting? She wasn't actually biting into the cookie.
I noticed that. Yeah.
I got a little, I was curious, I got
Yeah.
distracted.
Okay, so then you pick one other chunk, which might even be something as simple as, when I saw you pick up the cookie, I noticed a wave of irritation in me, and I want to explore that with you, and I want to make sure that you don't think that I'm criticizing you.
Yeah.
Because if she thinks that that you're criticizing her, you cooked.
Right.
Did you think he was criticizing you?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't, no.
Okay, so then if she's not criticizing you, if you're not criticizing her, then and you ask her, you build another little bit of trust, and then you can say the next piece. And I think that's all we're going to be able to do with this very rich and yummy situation.
Aww.
And now I'd like to wrap up, and I just want to check with you, what you got from our time together today. What stands out to you?
I got a cookie. I really enjoyed this last thing, actually, because I think I actually do that in real life. The 4 things at once when I'm expressing myself. So
Keeping it simple, one bit at a time.
yeah, and it's for me, it's something which I think of as trusting that I will have the opportunity to say the other things.
Yeah.
So
What about you, Itzel?
Yeah.
Anything that stands out to you from our time together today?
Well, I think it relates to both, actually, of the scenarios, which is just as things come up, just being very authentic with them, and then also, like Nick said, just introducing them piece by piece.
Yeah, and for me, what stands out is just how important it is to have our autonomy honored. Because when our autonomy is not honored, we actually lose it and act in some kind of rebellious defiance, or we submit, but we're not really making a choice. Okay, so if you enjoyed what you watched here today, you are welcome to call us. The same number is reaching our office, 510-433-0700, or www.baynvc.org. And if you have feedback, or if you have scenarios that you want us to work with, which we sometimes get on email, we'd love to have more scenarios. You can reach us at conflicthotline@baynvc.org. I'd like to thank again Knut and Itzel and Sigal and Mark, who were with us at the first part of the show, for your work and support in doing this. And again, with great gratitude to our crew that is all volunteer, very dedicated people. And I'm hoping to see you again next month. The first Thursday of the month is always this show. And please, if you enjoyed this, tell your friends, tell people to watch this. You don't have to live in Berkeley to see this, because this is available always on betv.org. You can see it live streaming. First Thursday of the month at 7:30. See you then.
Take a deep, dark breath of my fear. Breathe out compassion to myself. I take a deep, dark breath of your fear. Breathe out compassion to you. And the next breath is for all the people who can relate to me and you. I cannot see eye to eye. Won't you step up with me and try? Drop the fences down, find the common ground, and take a deep breath. I am here to love you. I am here to free you, yeah. Enemy, enemy mine, reveal me, reveal me. We are on our paths, side by side, seekers on a parallel, taking what little was given us and turning heaven from hell. Together we can turn heaven from hell. Together we can turn heaven from hell. Together we can turn heaven from hell. You are here to love me. You are here to heal me, yeah. Enemy.